Hi everyone and welcome back to SunBurst Tarot, where today we're going to be looking into a little bit of a conspiracy theory from me that I've kind of just seen floating around on the Facebooks and the Twitters. Excuse me. But we're going to be looking at the Grand Canyon today. So what's going on with Grand Canyon? So I want to start looking into like these beautiful natural locations, some of them where are they man-made or like anciently man-made, or are they really these natural wonders of our world? So I want to take a look at the Grand Canyon, as I found a photo where it's like, hey, was the Grand Canyon really resembles an old copper mine? So it's like, oh, was it an old copper mine? Also, I learned that there's like a ton of restricted areas within the Grand Canyon itself, so I wanted to look at that as well and see what's going on in the Grand Canyon? Why are there so many restricted areas? What's going on in those locations? What's kind of going on in the Grand Canyon just in general? So, that's what we're taking a look at here. If your timestamps are down below. Otherwise, quick news and announcements. If you guys would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so using my website link down below. Got a couple different options for readings. Otherwise, if you want to join YouTube members, you can do so. I have the link in the pinned comment down below, where for $3 a month, you get access to exclusive readings, extended readings, discounts on personal readings, videos like this early, as well as access to members' lives where you're going to be able to help decide on topics, as well as just see some videos that and topics that I get to dive into for you that are juicy, a little bit unfiltered, and the such. So, if any of that interests you, feel free, check that out. Otherwise, disclaimer, reminder, everything that I'm saying is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. No facts here, y'all, just my opinions, psychic downloads, and the such. So, if you want to use what I'm saying to help form your own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions, please do so. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So, with that, thank you all so very much for listening to me, and I will see you guys in the video. Hi everyone and welcome to the reading. So what we're going to be looking at today here is the Grand Canyon. So I was scrolling through Twitter. There's apparently conspiracy theories on the Grand Canyon. Who knew? But I wanted to take a look at the origin of the Grand Canyon. It's such a beautiful location. There's been a lot of speculation being like, what was it truly? Is it man-made? Is it just a natural formation? And also we want to look into, apparently there's a ton of restricted zones of the Grand Canyon and looking into what's going on there. So, without further ado, let's get into the reading here. And first things first, we got to look at, was the Grand Canyon a man-made structure, or is it like a man-made ancient structure, or is this something that's maybe a little bit more natural in how we've been told that it was formed? So let's take a look. So at the center of it, we have the Page of Swords reversed. That's saying one thing and doing another. Okay. Why is this the King of Cups reversed? So it's like something comes down from the sky to connect with the water. King of Cups reversed. Financial influences on this. It's the Knight of Swords reversed. When we're looking at the structure of the Grand Canyon, is it man-made? I'm hearing a very clear yes. I don't think it's it's like a natural structure. Not how we've been told anyway. Why I'm getting that. So we have the Page of Swords. So something comes down from the sky. We're coming down from the sky, but it's also something from saying one thing, doing another. This is like stormy nights, something coming down. We say we want one thing, we're doing it in another way though. Why? Because we're trying to manipulate the beings, the things here. From a financial influence, we're trying to get in, get out really, really quick. It's like we see something, we want something, we're going to get something. It's like a hit and quick, like guerrilla warfare almost. Hopes and fears here is the Magician reversed. We want to take something from this. This is my snake oil salesman. This is like, I want to be sneaky. I want to say whatever the origin of the Grand Canyon is. It's like someone said, "Hey, we want to go in here and we plan on getting X, Y, and Z," but then they found something else, and then they're like, "We're still taking X, Y, and Z," but didn't let them know that there's like this other mineral or something there that's really important. So how I would say this, so you know how in current day you would be like, hey, that's just like a copper mine or a zinc mine, and so you're just gonna go down to the copper zinc mine and just grab your stuff from there, la di da di da. But then like once you go in there, you find like a vein of gold, and then you start mining the gold out of out of there, but you don't tell them that it's a gold mine. You just tell them that it's a copper mine, like that's the vibe I'm getting here. The unseen obstacle was the Three of Swords reversed, which is whatever this structure is, or whatever like the origin story of the Grand Canyon is, it was over mined or over consumed. Something was over consumed, it feels like, or it's like it's a backstabbing, it's a betrayal, it's unseen obstacles, getting over heartbreak. I don't know who was on the land first. I don't know who, because like what I'm looking at, this structure is ancient. Like I don't know if it's humans that were in particular that were like around this area. I'm hearing no. I'm almost seeing, you know, what did they call it? The Anastasi people. The Anastasi people were almost like the first ones that were like in this location, that were kind of taking it over or managing it, or had like a claim of the land. They didn't have a claim to the land to it. They were the people that came in, Anastasi, people from outside. And the people who were on the land trusted this group. It's like we're trying to mend ties, we're trying to mend treaties, or mend our relationship here in some way. But that kind of backfired. Instead of it being a beneficial, financially beneficial, or beneficial for both parties, it's like one group came in, found the stuff, but then didn't tell the other group what was there, and just took the other stuff on top of the stuff that they were promised. The challenge here is the Ten of Wands. This is a burden, it feels like. Again, what I'm seeing is a treaty now. The treaty between the people who are on the land and I think it's the Anastasi people. Anastasi come in, be like, they were fighting between them and the people of the land. They fought. They wanted to broker a deal, though, and it's like, oh, we want to broker a deal. Well, how about this? We're going to give access to this land. You guys can mine it, do what you need to, take resources from it. This will be an equal give and take. Anastasi people go in, they go in, it's part of this whole process, the treaty, they get resources from this area, but then it's like what they took from the area, they took more than what they said they were taking, and it's like a valuable resource in some way for them, but they don't let the people of the land know that this is a useful, or like a resource that's more valuable than what they had assumed. Because what was going for them is the Ten of Cups. Whatever this was, it's a burden, and I don't feel like the people of the land ever figured it out, because it's almost like the resource that they got, it almost feels like it's a resource that was one, isn't very common, but two, like, we here on Earth, we don't see it as a valuable... What in the world? Okay, so they didn't see it as a valuable thing. Also, I would just like to say, I just had a pop-up come up on my computer and just completely like block off everything in the middle of it. No warning, no nothing. No pop-ups, just this popped up, and it's all about protection, protection, protection. What in the world? what's with the protection? Because that's weird. That's never happened to me before. It's like this resource. This resource was used in like an intergalactic sense. It almost feels like, or in like whatever they needed, like a resource. Whether this is for protection of them, or this resource because because the people of Earth had access to this resource that is apparently super uncommon in the world worldwide, or the world in galactical wide, but it's so commonly found in that area. But like the people didn't know that it's like such a, and I don't even think we know to this day, at least amongst the common people, know to this day that this is such a valuable resource, even though it's found in spades in that area. And we just take it for granted, but in reality, it's like how we value gold here on Earth. This, like, whatever this resource is down there, it acts as like the gold in like intergalactic trade almost. What I do see is what went for them is that they did have mended ties, people being able to go into this area, mended ties between, it feels like, the Anasazi people and the people of the land. Here in the past, it was a King of Swords. This is, again, there's an energy of someone coming in, taking what they want, but not letting others know just how valuable something was. This is, and then here in the future, this is the Eight of Wands. People were able to then go and do massive travel to other places, fast movement. Do I still think that resource is still found in the Grand Canyon to this day? Oh, yes, it is. I don't know what it is, so I can't pinpoint it. So if anyone's, and I've never been to the Grand Canyon, so if anyone can maybe help pinpoint it, I would be like grateful, because I'm not sure. Like it's just a resource that's found there a lot. You can still find it there and the such. So, I mean, it looks like it was a peaceful thing for the most part. Do I think the Grand Canyon was man-made? Yes. Well, not man-made, but it was not made. It was not a natural formation. I'm saying, yeah, no, it was not. So let's take a look at the resource in, what's this resource used for in like an intergalactic trade sort of thing? Because you know me, I'm going to go and we're going to do the weird thing and look at things from an intergalactic perspective, because why the heck not? Aliens, right? Aliens. So what's this resource, and essentially why is it so valuable? What is it used for? What is this resource used for? The Four of Swords reversed. Why is the Four of Swords reversed? The Star reversed. Financial influences, the Two of Pentacles. So why would this resource be... What is this resource used for? No. What is this... What essentially is this... Why this resource? So Four of Swords reversed alongside the Star. Oh, we got this with space travel, most likely. There's something with space travel here. And it's like one of two resources that is used intergalactically for international, for like space travel. It's like there's only like two, yeah, there's only like two resources out there. And it's not like there's like deposit, it's not like Earth is the only deposit, but Earth has one of the deposits. I don't know if Earth's deposit is like super clean. I would say no. It's like, it's almost like the raw material you can be found here on Earth, and it's like it's in its most based raw form, and then they would take this base raw form of it and then they refine it in some way, and then that refinement process is what makes the technology. Or that refinement process is like the fuel source almost for other tech. Think about it as like coal. You know how we have coal, or petroleum and how you take oil and then you take that base raw form of oil or crude oil, and then you can refine it into petroleum, into natural gas, into multiple different things. That's what this feels like. Something along those lines, where it's like Earth has a very base form, has like the raw material in spades located in the Grand Canyon that can then be refined for international space travel. Hopes and fears here. It's deep underground with the Two of Cups. This is something that's definitely held deep underground, but also it's in cave. It's also located in the cave system, and we don't want people finding the caves. Two of Cups. It's also, we want to disconnect from this. It's like we hope people don't realize what this actually is, but just looking at the imagery on here as well. This is a unicorn, a mythological, mysterious, very hard to find creature in a cave, right? With that light coming down on it. Seeing this reverse, it's like the imagery I get is that this is a very, very hard resource to find in international galactic sense. And then it's a unicorn find. You don't find this in its raw material form. It's almost like the raw material is actually worth more than the refined material. Or it's like the refined material is able to be recycled. How do I put this? There's like the base form is more valuable because it can be put into many different things rather than just refined for one thing. It's weird. I'm trying to figure out what it is. I have a background in a lot of this, so I'm trying to figure out what it is, but it's just not coming to me at the moment. Unseen obstacles here is the Temperance card, finding balance. So it's like there does seem to be a strict balance or allotment that has been restricted on this resource. I almost think this resource is like a black market find for some in the galactic empires of things. It's almost like a black market resource. Not because it's not available, but because there's like other planets or other places within the galaxy that like there's strict controls over that resource. And so with those strict controlled resources, I don't know if Earth is a part of that strict resources like agreement. I'm hearing no. So like that people found it here on our planet and it's not restricted makes it, you have to be very careful because it's not a lot of, it's like when you look at the grand scheme of the galactic, not a lot of people know that this resource is here. And they're trying to make sure that like when this resource is introduced to maybe like these big trade networks or underground networks, that they aren't linking it back to the Earth deposit, because if they found out that it was here, there would be major strict controls put on it. Because the other challenge here is the Ace of Cups, which is, this is a little pond. It's a resource in the big scheme of things. It's because also this is such a small deposit versus a large deposit as well, which makes it a little bit not as controlled, but also it can be traced back here very easily. It can be traced back to Earth easily, no, but it can be traced back to this location. And even though it's a small plot, there could be people who fight for it because it is such a valuable resource within the galaxy. What's going for this about everything with it? The Knight of Wands. This is all about, like, it's almost like this is like jet fuel. Like, this resource is used for like jet fuel. I'm getting drawn to like the what is it? It's like the wormhole travel from like Star Wars. You know how they do like they warp from like one galaxy to another at light speed. Like that's what this is used for like light speed travel. Here in the past, the Queen of Pentacles, this is the Earth, this is the Valley, this is it, this is where it is located. And then here in the future, the Judgment. They're never going to let us know about this. At least people here on Earth are never going to know about this resource. Because if they did, it would become it feels like this is a resource people go to nuclear war for. Yeah, this is a resource people go to nuclear war for amongst the grand scheme of things. Even if it's such a small deposit, it causes people will go to war for it. I almost think that Mars might have had like a larger deposit of whatever this resource is. I'm hearing yes, like that resource might have been one of the reasons why Mars, I almost think, fell, or it almost self-imploded on itself. It was over. This was one of the resources that it's not like that was like it self-imploded on itself. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I gotta do a follow-up reading to Mars. If y'all are interested in that, let me know. I do have an initial one, but I would love to do a follow-up to that one, or a redo almost. So let's take a look here. The last thing I want to look at is the restricted zones in the Grand Canyon, because that's like dictated by the United States government. And I want to take a look at what that all is about. So, what are the restricted zones? What's hiding in the restricted zones, essentially, within the Grand Canyon? Is it this resource that they are restricting from, or is it something else? Because the Grand Canyon feels like it's a hotbed of minerals. It's a hotbed of gems, minerals, the weird and the wacky. Yeah, the weird and the wacky. Also, Bigfoot. Don't know why Bigfoot's down there. But Bigfoot, it feels like, is also in this location quite heavily. So let's see what's going on here. What is with all the restricted zones within the Grand Canyon? So the King of Cups reversed. There's multiple reasons why. So we can't just like this is like there's multiple reasons, as there's multiple tentacles essentially to the restricted areas. There's different reasons for different restrictions in the area with this King of Cups reversed. Why? Because of the I'm gonna say tentacle 1, Ace of Wands. One has old resources or almost old deposits of technology or old deposits of minerals or something along those lines that have been taken, cut down, or dug out from those areas, and now like those areas don't have like a protective layer to them. They're actually toxic to people that go in them. I would say, like, I don't know if there's like nuclear waste or something along those lines that have been put in one of the caves in that area. And it's not that it's leaching per se, but it's been contained to that area because it's like that area was mined out. It's now a little bit toxic because of things left behind. So it's like it's just safer to keep people out in that way. Ooh. This is also a location. This is super interesting because if you look at the Grand Canyon has this river running through it. Seeing this home here, there does seem to be a type of group or someone that lives there. This maybe could be my Bigfoots. That live in that area, and it's like that's a protected zone, so you don't go in there because that's where people's homes are. That's where people have their livelihood. I almost see like there's like a chipped out. Like you go in and then you could see it as like an underground thing, but I see it more as like the homes were like dug into the side of the cliff, and that's where like people's homes are. I don't know how that is because I think you can go through the river down. You can go down the river to the whole thing. So like a lot of people have done that. So I don't know how that would all work. But there does seem to be like a bridge, or maybe there is there could be like a crevice that you go through, and then like through that crevice it actually opens up into like a little bit of like a gorge, and then like there's homes actually like etched out into the side of that gorge. Another one here is the Chariot. There's also, I could see this as underground bunkers, but with the Chariot upright here as like another tentacle of like why another one. So the Grand Canyon has a lot of stuff going on there. I also think that there was probably some military operations that have gone on there with a Chariot here as well. I am seeing that there might be, I don't want to say portals, Could it be portals? There's some sort of technology here, or some sort of doorway, I should say. A doorway that allows you to go from one spot to another. It's like as you travel through here. There's in that area, it's like you travel. And in that travel, it's like you go through the door and you go from one side to the other side. Don't know if that's like dimension hopping. I don't know if that's into like a top secret layer. I don't know if that's like once you go like this area, it holds the doorway to something. And I'm not seeing what the something is right now. Because it's like there's a doorway and it leads you from one place to another place, and it's almost like it's like a completely different world. And like what I'm seeing is like Journey to the Center of the Earth. If you've ever seen that movie, Journey to the Center of the Earth, like the doorway is there to get you to the journey to the center of the Earth. Because I'm seeing lush greenery. I don't know why I'm seeing it's like a whole different ecosystem. Like once you go through this door, you go to a completely different ecosystem than what is currently is shown. What's the other one here? We have the King of Pentacles reversed. This like I said, it's like each zone has a different restriction on it. Each zone has a different restriction. I will say that. There's a reason why it's restricted, because they're all different. The Grand Canyon has so many different moving parts and pieces to it that it's actually kind of scary. Down here with the King of Pentacles, I would say that there is a sense of, there is a resource here. This is like the resource. I want to be greedy and selfish about this resource. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. No one else can know it's here. It's mine, it's mine. That's all I keep hearing. It's mine. You can't have it. No one can go here. It's mine. The other part of it here, the Ten of Swords. So this is, I think, piggybacking off of that toxic waste part of it. There's nuclear waste in the Grand Canyon somewhere, most likely. Or there's some sort of toxic waste in the Grand Canyon. I don't know if you would classify it as nuclear. I almost see this as, the, what's it called? It smells like rotten eggs. When burned, but it's like the rotten eggs type of smell, and like that's like it's like noxious fumes that just come up from the earth. There's some sort of noxious fumes that come up in like one of these locations that it's like it's just not safe for anyone to be there. I was hoping this wasn't going to show up, but apparently it is. Also, our lovely people from underwater. This is our aliens. This is the Hanged Man. But I don't know what you do to get when you go under the river or the rapids or something, but there's something that like you can access underneath the water. So whether this is like once you go through like the rapids and you go through like a calm spot, or if it's like in the rapids, there are caves in the water. There are caves in the water, and once you go under the water into these caves, whatever they are, I feel like there's underwater caves. There's like beings there, like aliens or something. We would call them aliens. I'm going to call them people that were here before humans that say F you. But there's like a whole ecosystem under the water, or there's a whole ecosystem that's like thriving in that area. Again, Journey to the Center of the Earth is a very heavy theme going on. Here in the past, the Knight of Wands, the United States government knows about a lot of this, and they kind of leapt before they leaped before that, and then they have up here in the future the Hermit. They're going to be left alone. This whole area is going to be left alone for the most part. The only way that this area is going to get redone, and people are so afraid of like the Grand Canyon getting remined or getting turned over for private investment, or having investors go in to essentially blow the whole thing to smithereens. There's too many do I put this? There's too many cooks in the kitchen in this area to actually get that done. And there's too much pushback from beings outside of Earth that have a stake in this location. So it's like if any private investors wanted to come in and like mine it for themselves or do this, that, or the other thing, one, it's too dangerous to, I think, actually go in and do what they would want to do with it. And two, there's too many agreements and there's too many groups, it feels like, in this stretch of the Arizona desert that have a vested interest or have their homes located here, that if they went and started demolishing, they would be making themselves known and people would be freaking the F out, and it would be like an environmental, it would be worldwide news. We're going to be seeing Bigfoots coming forward. We're going to be seeing aliens coming forward. There's going to be like exposés of things like, and it's like there's too much going on there that no one would believe it, but they would see the evidence and then they would protect it forever and ever. So it's like they just need to keep this maintained balance that's already there. So that's what I'm seeing here for the Grand Canyon. If y'all liked that, feel free. Like, comment, share. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and ideas down below. This was a little bit different and wild from where I thought it was going. But if you all enjoyed this, feel free to check out, I got a playlist of all sorts of weird and wild things, whether you're looking at the moon, the Mars. I did some with the Vatican. We've done stuff going on. Are there aliens underwater, which this kind of feels pretty tied to. So if y'all are interested in that, go check that playlist out. I'll have it linked here at the end of the video. Otherwise, thank you all so very, very much for watching. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so using my website link down below. Otherwise, if you want to join YouTube members, you can do so. Use $3 a month. You get access to extended readings, exclusive readings, discounts on personal readings. We're starting to do member lives as well, where you get to see me film. We're going to be filming some videos live and you guys get to react afterwards, as well as we're doing some what are we calling it, this members lives, where you guys get to have your own little fun things going on. So thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.